What stage are you guys at? This is the Adoptee Conscious Model, and it was created by Chinese Adoptee Collective. This is an organization that has a lot of Chinese adoptees who are part of it and who are psychologists and therapists. And it was created by the collective to help adoptees identify what part of the adoption phases they are at with their identities. I'm going to do my best to explain these different phases, but if I am wrong, I'm hoping that a member of the collective can reach out to me and join me on the channel so that we can explain this more properly. But I'm just doing my best. Before I begin, you guys already know what time it is. I'm Ben, and this is Positively Oriented, a channel that is dedicated to helping the adoptee community by providing resources that is free and accessible to everybody, and by providing consulting to families and organizations that are looking for more information and resources that is specifically tailored to their families or their child's situation. This is an important topic because birth rates in modern countries are declining, and there's a lot of correlations between different factors, whether that's going to be economic factors or educational factors. What we're going to start seeing is an increased demand for people, and that's going to come in the form of adoptions. And I'm going to let you know that adopting is a real challenge. The child is going to be unhappy for a period of time, and you as a parent will face a lot of different stressors. It's going to be important on how to navigate that. So this scenario, you're going to look for someone who has firsthand experience and accountability in this topic. So this is why this topic is important and why you should continue to like, subscribe, and share these videos with people who you know. To start off with, we have the status quo. The status quo is explained by the collective as believing in the dominant narrative or the stories that are told to you about your adoption process. It is the fact that all of these people are going to say you were rescued and you were saved and you were chosen by the adoptee family, and you don't really question why or what the situation was. You just kind of accept it and know that you are the child of so and so. This is true up until you face or encounter some sort of information, whether that's going to be memories that are triggered from certain objects or learning new pieces of information that is coming to you. This then causes a disruption in the status quo of, hey, everything is hunky-dory, I accept the story for what it is. Then you start questioning the history that got you here, which then leads us to dissonance. Now, CAC explains dissonance as the tension or contradiction between what seems to be opposing beliefs and truths, and adoptees who are experiencing dissonance will feel a lot of different negative emotions, whether that's going to be pain, anguish, or angst, or anything about it. But it is actually understanding the fact that you underwent through some sort of trauma in your childhood. After going through dissonance, you kind of start understanding the paradoxes that occurred within your life, and you start accepting the different perspectives that other people have. You then go into the next phase that CAC labels as expansiveness. Now, expansiveness is described as understanding paradox and multiple different perspectives, whether that's your perspective, the truth of the different stories that your parents tell you, or the different stories that the adoption agencies tell you, or even the orphanage that you grew up in told you. But now during this time, adoptees try to kind of reinvent or incorporate some of their past identities, whether that's Chinese identity, the language, or its culture, back into their lives. This leads us to the final phase of our adoption story, identity, which is forgiveness and activism. This is when adoptees look beyond oneself and they start accepting their own story, but then they also start examining the adoption history or the systems that led people to become adoptees in the first place. Adoptees in this scenario will seek ways to challenge the dominant narrative and incorporating forgiveness. Now, this part of forgiveness is actually not about holding others accountable, it's about giving space for healing. A week ago, I posted my own video about the common challenges that adoptees face, and then these challenges also tries to point out the same different phases and challenges that adoptees will face at certain points in their life. And I think it kind of does the same thing that the adoptee conscious model tries to do, but it doesn't take into account of the change in their mentality after they kind of accepted the story and the narrative that happened. If I had to create my own conscious model, I would probably keep the status quo, rupture, dissonance, and then I would change the last two and actually just have it be moving on. Moving on is going to be different for each adoptee. Something I should mention is that not all adoptees go through each of these cycles. Some adoptees will get stuck in the status quo, some of them will get stuck in the rupture, some of them will get stuck in dissonance. And I think that is when there are different psychological challenges that they have to overcome, and that's not something that they can do by themselves. I hope the adoptee conscious model is something that we all make more aware, and this is something that will help parents and other people who are within the adoptee community understand the different mindsets and mentalities of adoptees. And raising awareness for something like this is going to help parents in general, and it's going to help the adoptees themselves try and figure out where they want to be in life. Let me know where you guys are at, and please like, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.